Well, hello everybody. Good evening. Welcome back. Jiujitsu2000 here today. I'm with Miss Bella.
Hey guys.
We are here. We're ready to talk about Alone. We're talking about season 6 once again, and now episode 4. This episode is called The Moose. Ready for the quote?
Yeah, go for it.
A failure is not always a mistake. The real mistake is to stop trying. B.F. Skinner. Pretty crazy.
I like it. I like the
powerful.
quote. Yeah. It's very motivational.
It is, huh?
Yeah.
Crazy quote. So let's get started. We are on day 14.
2 weeks.
2 weeks in. 8 people left. It's 8:26 in the morning, 41 degrees Fahrenheit outside. We're talking about Michelle. What you got?
Michelle is building up her shelter, isn't she? After the fire.
She had a fire. Her shelter got burned.
So at the end of last episode, we see the shelter go up in flames, right?
Yes.
And they pretty much just like leave it there. So they go into this episode with what happened after, like the aftermath of it. So most of the high part of her shelter is gone for the most part, except for the beams. And she's saying that pretty much the reason why it caught on fire was because of the moss.
For insulation.
And instead of having the moss, she should have been putting some clay in there and making sure that that's all, secure. But before she could do that, it started to freeze. And she just didn't get around to it.
Couldn't get it done. So that's pretty much the same stuff I have. Fast forward to 9:30 at night, still day 14. We're still talking about Michelle. And she's still working on her shelter.
Tough girl.
Tough.
I have to say, like, she does this motivational speech into the camera, about how things have never really gone right for her, so she's used to that tough luck. So her getting out there and keeping going, I know she's tired. It's got to be frustrating that she's already built this shelter before, but she's got to do it all over again.
Yep.
That's got to be tough. You're tired, you want some food. It's a lot of calories being expended for just a crazy mistake. Something that probably could have been, taken care of, and no fire.
Fire is so unpredictable. You never know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
What it's going to do.
But she knew exactly, it was the moss. It was built up high. Yeah.
And her quote was, she talked about a story about somebody, was it her grandfather? And the quote was, just keep swinging.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Yeah, I have it too.
Just keep swinging.
So that was
just
pretty
keep fishing, keep swimming like Dory. But she, I'm tired, guys.
It's been a long day.
Yes, it has, and it's late, but we're getting this to you. She's tough. But what got me is that, I'm going to do it the same way, she says. I'm like, okay, so the fire burned it down before, but you're going to do it the same way.
She's using more clay, I think she said.
That's what she did say, yes.
More clay this time.
Yes, I'm like, okay. Hopefully she doesn't burn it down again. But she's a tough girl. I'll give it to her. She's got guts, and she's digging deep to get this done again.
But the clay was cool because as the clay heats up, it'll heat, it'll generate by radiation heat into the shelter.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Move forward.
Yeah.
Day 15, a little bit after noon, talking about Jordan. We have 8 people left. Now, there was an annotation that came on the screen that said they launched the cast of Alone when the moose in that area were at their most active.
Yeah, so why haven't we seen more moose?
Yeah, he hears one and
Yeah.
he decides he's going to go track it.
Yeah.
What did he do with the tin cans?
So, if you guys remember in the last episode, he found these tin cans and what's he going to use them for? So he builds like this little, pretty much like a stringy,
A warning system.
an alert system for if the moose come closer. The area that he's in is there's like a huge marshy area that is between his camp and everything else. So it's a good place for those moose to come in.
It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Moving forward yet?
Yeah, let's go.
11 o'clock, talking about Nikki. 8 people left. She has several Paiute deadfalls. Decides to go check them. Found a mouse.
A flattened, paper thin mouse, and I'm like, what can you really get out of this little tiny mouse?
Yeah.
But she's so grateful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it melted my heart because she was like, I'm so grateful for this mouse. I know she's going to be absolutely starving.
Yep. She's happy. She said, she made a comment. She said, I'm not hungry yet.
What?
I don't know if that's her convincing herself emotionally that she's not hungry.
Yeah.
But we're on day 15.
Yeah, I'd be starving. I'd be hangry out there.
Yes.
Absolutely. She's got to be hungry, but mentally I think she's just convincing herself.
So she's using the blueberries.
Good idea. You know, if I was starving, I would pretty much eat any mouse or rat, and adding some blueberries to that and eating it, it's got to make it a little bit better, because I bet you eating a mouse head was probably not the most tasty thing, but eating it with some blueberries and then chasing it with some more blueberries, you know, she's getting some of that protein down with the taste of blueberries. So
she's staying fed.
All right,
at least 75 calories or whatever a mouse brings.
A blueberry mouse muffin, I call it.
Yeah. So she shot her bow at a squirrel. She missed. But then she took a second shot and nails a squirrel. Yeah.
Pretty high up too. You see the arrow go out, and you just see this squirrel. Woo,
yeah, boom, he falls.
I'm like, all right.
Good shot.
Yeah, okay.
So the bow, from not just her, but from several of the participants, is starting to show that the bow is paying off as an item to take.
Yeah, we've seen quite a bit of stuff being taken out with bow and arrow. So.
Yep. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What do you got?
So she's all excited about this squirrel, and she gets herself in the leg with the arrow, right?
Hiking back and boom, with a broadhead, right?
It's almost like you could feel it coming for some reason. Yeah. And then when she goes, ow, and I feel the blood coming down my legs, I can think, like, if you're out there and you've got a bow, you know, and your arrow, wouldn't you be a little bit more careful? But
she's overwhelmed with carrying cameras and trying to get, I think they get spread so thin on what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
They got camera angles and trying to film this and that, and it's easy to get complacent, I would think.
She was absolutely irritated. You could tell, like, she's like, oh, this was so stupid of me that I did this. She seemed so irritated that she did that. But
when it first happened, can I jump in?
No, go for it.
When it first happened, my initial thought was, where is the cut? And is she okay? When you feel blood that quick coming down, I'm wondering, did she cut her artery between her legs? You know, we didn't know at that point where the wound was.
And they leave you hanging, and then we get
commercials and all this.
Yeah.
She had fall raven pants.
Oh. Okay.
Awesome pants.
Okay, great.
So it's hard to cut in there. It's hard to get a broadhead through those. Those pants are solid. That's something I noticed.
I wouldn't know. I don't even know what those are. So
they're awesome. I have a pair.
Okay.
I have several actually. So the cut was in the calf of her leg, It's 38 degrees outside Fahrenheit and it's cold, so she wants to warm up her shelter before tending to the wound, so it'd be more comfortable.
Yeah, because she's like half naked in there.
I thought that's kind of weird, because if you're gonna spend energy and warm up your body and get your blood flowing, trying to make a fire, I would think that tending to the wound would have been a priority over warmth.
I think she looked at it, and in my opinion, it wasn't like it was like squirting out blood everywhere.
True. Yeah.
So
fair.
it wasn't like a dire need. It's not like she was going to be losing like pints of blood because it's going all. I mean, come on. It really didn't look that bad. It wasn't a cut. It was like a puncture wound, but it seriously didn't look like it was like bleeding.
And props to her for filming. I mean, that's got to be difficult when you got this wound on your calf back here, and yet to still have the mental capacity to say, let me grab a camera and show everybody what it looks like.
But you can tell she's irritated. She goes, I'll get this tripod all fixed up. Here she is, like, bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
But let me get back to like the whole building a fire thing. If you noticed, like, why did she take the time? She can't even fill her dang hands to tend to the wound.
True. And then it just gives me a flashback to Mary Kate when she hit her hand with the axe. She did a phenomenal job too, back in season 2, I think it was, or 3, I can't remember, but season 2 maybe. And she handled the camera too.
Yeah.
She
you have to. You gotta make sure that you're showing everything that's going on. But
Nikki says I'm not walking right, and she's kind of limp. I think she's playing it off a little bit.
And the award goes to. Just saying.
Day 16. It's good. 8 people left. 9 in the morning. We're talking about Ray. Shot at a squirrel. Right over the squirrel. Decides he's going to add more insulation to his shelter. So he has a bunch of spruce boughs, a debris type shelter, and he's going to add moss on top of the spruce boughs.
Mossy Duffy stuff.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Very smart. The temperatures are going to get cold, and he's really preparing for winter shelter. So I was really happy to see that. What do you got on him?
Just saying, Ray, he's a simple man.
Mm-hmm.
He's really just thankful for his time there. He's, taking his time. Like, if he can succeed at something, he's going to go and he's going to get his shelter. But I know the man is starving.
Mm-hmm. Day 16.
He is starving.
He makes some comments about the life out there is a simple life. You don't have the hustle and bustle. You actually live. You experience nature. You become in tune with the ecosystem of nature. Super cool thoughts that he's having.
It's easier than modern life.
Correct. So, yes. Easier than the modern world. His shelter looks amazing.
Yeah, I like
awesome
the door.
Shelter.
The door was
cool. It was awesome. He did a good job. And I noticed on the front of his shelter, natural camouflage.
Yeah.
I mean, it blends in really well.
Everything does, because it's not like super, super green.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it did. It looked like a real like hunting hut.
Yep.
Type deal. I was pretty impressed with that.
He said he's looking for hunting opportunities. Yeah. That's all I have for Ray for now.
Okay.
You got moving forward to Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan.
3 o'clock. Only thing I have on Jordan right now is he made a birch bark moose call.
Yeah, okay. Well, he needs a little bit more practice on it because it sounded like a female donkey in heat. I don't know what the heck it was, but
Props to Jordan though,
man. I couldn't do any better, really, Jordan. I can't do any better than that. But it sounded insane.
It was awesome.
Just saying. Okay.
If that and you know what though, let's be fair. He did have a lot of moose activity after that horn.
Yeah. It worked. Okay, it worked.
5:37. His trip wire with the can that we spoke of goes off.
Yeah. I'm like, all right.
And what does he see on the other side of the river? A big rack.
It's super freaking
Huge.
far, though.
A big bull.
I know.
Moose.
But it's far away from the camera.
Boom.
It was far. I don't know how anybody could freaking shoot an arrow that far.
Yeah, he says, I got to take the shot now. And boom, he drops an arrow, doesn't he? Yeah, he shoots.
Yeah, he does. Right between the legs of the moose.
Yep.
And he says that if he wouldn't have been in such a dang hurry when that alert went off with the cans, and he would have brought 2 arrows,
Yes.
that most likely he could have taken another shot.
Possibly, yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah.
It's a huge meal ticket right there. Just
Yeah.
went going away. I guess he's going to have to use his awesome moose call again.
Seems like, it just seems like he had to go like right now when he heard the alarm. He didn't have time to get all his gear.
Well, shoot, I would be
took the
too.
shot.
I'd be hungry.
He took the shot, so I
Yeah.
got say props to him. Day 17. Are you done with him, Jordan?
You go for
Okay,
it.
day 17, 9 o'clock in the morning. 42-year-old Wanaya. I hope I'm saying that right.
I think
right.
I think we're
If I'm-
butchering it.
oh my God.
We're butchering it.
If I'm not, I'm sorry.
Juania? I'm sorry, sweetheart. I don't know.
No, she's talking about t-shirts. 94 days in the wild, and all I got was this t-shirt.
Surviving, she says. Surviving, not surviving. And then she says, no, can't be surviving because I ain't thriving out here. She needs food. She's been just being eaten like
in the last 2 weeks, she has
No
not
meat.
had no fish or game.
So she just been eating leaves and berries and stuff.
Yeah, that's tough.
Oh.
For 2 weeks,
Oh,
she found a moose shed. You know.
yeah. I can't eat that.
Yep. She shoots at a grouse, which is a prairie chicken.
Yeah, pretty big one.
Hit it.
She hits it, yeah. Feathers all over the arrow and blood, but this grouse is nowhere to be found. And the coloring of the grouse and stuff, it's supposed to be like camouflage type, so finding this wounded grouse somewhere out where she hid it is going to be, it's almost like a needle in a haystack.
It is. It's tough.
You know, she's stressed out, you know, she's
Hungry.
wanting to find this grouse that she hit, but
11:23 in the morning, she finds it.
yeah, big one too.
Big one. The hunting,
Yeah.
the hunger rather, is getting to her at this
Yeah.
point. I mean, day 17.
I think it always it's got to be for everybody, but nice grouse. And she also again says like she's so just thankful for.
She got very emotional.
Yeah.
You know, after 17 days and 2 weeks of no food or no protein, I'd be crying too.
Oh.
I would be like
seriously
celebrating
crying.
and
I know you'd be crying too.
be like, oh my god, I got this
Yeah.
little flat mouse or whatever.
Yeah. I'd be tearing it up, man.
to get a grouse, that's a
Yeah.
huge meal ticket. It's
Yeah.
gonna recharge her batteries.
So she ends up going in there and cooking it and everything. And if I remember, she was like the one that was kind of like the master.
Taxidermist.
Yeah.
Meat
So
processing. I think.
sure. So the way that she cut up everything and preserved everything, and she had the liver and the heart, and she had this big old leg sitting out there, a ton of meat. And it actually looked pretty delicious. Cook that bad boy up. I would join her. Anyway, go
Yes,
ahead.
two of the ladies had Mora knives. One was a Mora Companion, orange, and the other one was a Mora something, 511 basic or something, orange. That was cool. I love seeing the Moras. You want to move forward to Ray?
Yeah, day 17.
13 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
13 o'clock?
Yeah, 1300
Okay, yeah.
military time.
Yeah.
1319.
I know.
Ray.
Did he jump?
He danced. He did the
Is that what he was doing and then he messed up?
He was watching Thriller or something and was dancing.
I've seen it from far away, and they show him right at the water's edge, and then all of a sudden.
Yeah, that would have sucked. Now I'm not laughing at Ray, Okay, I'm laughing because I've had those same moments when I was out shooting video.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, let's not forget that we are on day 17. And in the whole time, the last 16 days that he's been out there, he's only had a handful of berries, one fish, and one squirrel. And that's it.
Yeah.
So the dexterity and your balance, your equilibrium, all of those things.
For sure, you're going to be wonky.
So that's why he's doing the moonwalk and the dance, trying to step onto that rock to go fishing.
Whoa.
Falls in the water.
That was a bold move, and he tries to catch himself, and then I'm just thinking like, oh man, you're going to be freezing cold the rest of the time that you're trying to fish.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be frustrating.
And by no means am I making fun of Ray.
No, not at all.
He's awesome.
But I was really bummed that he's getting out there, he's trying to fish and can't, you know, he's going to be freezing the whole time.
He's enjoying the experience. He says the fear of going home is what is keeping me out here.
Yeah. So what does it mean? Why doesn't he want to go home?
Just back to what he said before, I think. It's hard to go back into the cage after you've flown free for a long time.
Heck yeah.
His quote.
Heck yeah.
Smart.
All right.
You know, he's out there, he's free, the 9 to 5 life, the white picket fence, your boss yelling at you. It doesn't matter what job you got, your boss is a jerk probably.
Let me take a 2-week vacation and stick me out in the forest.
He doesn't
I
want
won't complain.
that. Yep. He's really
I want to get away from the everyday cage.
He's in his element, really.
So it pretty much like just takes us a couple more days along, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're on Winona now, 3:45, eating the grouse. It looks delicious. I'm happy for her. Gonna possibly hunt while she's got her batteries recharged.
Oh, yeah,
Smart woman.
She's like ready to rock and roll.
Mm-hmm. She's got energy now. That's all I have for her. We're back on Ray on day 19 now, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So
what do you got?
He just says, you know, he's ready to go past the lake. He's done fishing. He wants to go look for something.
Big game.
Something bigger because he's just, poor guy, he's hungry. And he wants to go on an active hunt. He starts getting out there, and then all of a sudden he just starts to his energy's drained. The calorie, having the calories to keep his energy going, he just sits down, he's like...
He needs food.
Yeah.
Carrying all the weight, he just has like a moment.
I'm like, Ray, come on, you got this.
I love Ray.
You got this.
Dude's honest. He is about as honest as they get.
Yeah.
I love him.
One of my faves.
He's
really.
got his radio. And he says, what?
I don't even want to talk about it.
Be sure, Ray, he says to himself.
Yeah.
You want me to say it?
You do that. You do every time. At least now you kind of built up to it this time. Usually it's like, oh, and he what?
He what?
What did he do?
He taps.
Yeah. Usually he just says it. But good job on the build-up this time.
Oh, give me some credit.
The build-up was good this time.
I didn't expect that.
I didn't either at all. And what sucks when we're watching the show, we told you before, we don't even talk to each other, so it's pretty much like,
Yeah.
We couldn't really talk about it before, and it really made me sad, you know.
He's awesome.
We understand.
I really like Ray a lot.
He says, while he's getting picked up and stuff, he says, you know, I wanted to remember this experience while it was still good. Mm-hmm.
And there's several people in the past seasons that have said something similar. Mm-hmm. And he said that he expected much more out of himself.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? I give all the credit in the world to Ray. He said that in some ways he feels that he's letting his family down.
No way.
No, you're not. You rocked it. You did amazing. And much
Yeah.
love from Arizona to you, Ray.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome.
Okay.
You got anything else, or you want to move forward?
Let's move on. We're getting...
Day 19, 2 o'clock, Jordan, 35 years old, 7 people left now. 7 people left.
Yeah.
He said time slows down. Everything just slows down when you're hungry.
So he doesn't want to fish. He says fishing's kind of well, I don't know how he says it, but like for idiots, because all you do is like sit there and throw in, and by the end of the day, you've been there all day twiddling your thumbs with this rod, and what if you come up empty? So he much rather go set snares. He much rather go keep himself busy all day. At least then that's kind of speeding it up.
All his snares are empty.
Yeah, it sucks.
He said his dad had diabetes, and I hope I'm not messing up his story, but what was that?
That's it, because I'm almost done, but yeah, go.
So his dad had diabetes, and they amputated one of his legs, and he's watching his dad go through this, and they end up amputating his other leg, and then he lost his feeling in his hands. And he said, you know, even though my dad went through all of these adversities, he always stayed positive. Thank you for sharing that, Jordan. That was amazing. You know, to have such a amazing role model like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Super
I think
cool.
Sometimes people take for granted, like, the people that raise them, and then, like, who they can look up to, like, in times of, you know, stress and everything, that his dad made it through some tough stuff and still kept a smile on his face, and so he can too.
Yes.
You know, like, this ain't nothing compared to that, or he knows that he can make it through. So, yeah, good story.
I think he's using that as mental preparation for himself.
Mind fuel. Yeah. Okay.
So he said he's going to make a moose fence. Super smart. My initial response, my initial thought was, I think he's going to get one. I do.
Yeah.
I thought that was smart.
I wanted one of the chicks to get one first. Sorry.
Yeah, I wanted...
Sorry, dude.
I want one of the chicks to win. To be the first woman in the history of Alone.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that's going to happen.
Okay, stop where you were ahead. But
That would
anyway,
be cool.
okay.
Here, let's put a smiley on
No, no.
So you
But
can
you
be
heard
happy.
it. You heard it. It's gonna happen.
That would be cool.
We're gonna have a chick win this year. It is. It's gonna happen. I feel it.
Moving forward to day 20.
Yes.
8:30 in the morning. Approximately 7 people left. Jordan decides his snares aren't hitting, so he does another very smart thing. He decides to relocate his snares. I thought, you know what, that's super cool. He's actively snaring, so the locations that he's got them ain't hitting. Let me move them. He's trying, and then what happens? Sees another moose.
Another moose, or the same one.
That's
It
true.
could be.
Takes a shot.
Yeah. And guess what, guys? End of episode. So now we don't know.
Well, they gave us a spoiler.
They did.
He hit the moose, and there's blood on the leaves.
Yeah, but there ain't no moose. Yeah, he could have ran it off.
I have
So we don't know.
a feeling. I've got a deep, deep feeling that we're gonna have a big game animal probably the next episode.
Which I'm excited about.
They kind of lean to that. I don't know. We'll
I'm
see.
excited.
And if that happens, that'll be the first time in the history of Alone that we've had a large game animal.
Yeah.
So now we have 7 people left, and I'm gonna put you on the spot for a second.
Boom.
Who's gonna win? Okay, so we have 3 tap outs. We have Tim. He tapped on day 4 to his injury. Donnie tapped on, I think, day 9, and then Ray tapped on day 19. So that leaves us with Brady, Barry, Jordan, Nathan. Remember, Nathan was the friction fire dude. Wyona. I hope I'm not butchering. I know I am.
Juanina?
Michelle and Nikki. Who you got?
We're going to learn how to pronounce Juanina.
Juanina?
I don't know.
So who do you got? Who's going to win? Or is it still too soon?
Nikki.
Nikki?
That's what I'm giving it for now. That's what I'm kind of... I still don't think that they've given, like, enough, like, background, but if they're still getting it done by day 20, you know, I think they got a chance.
Michelle. Yeah, it's hard to pick. I'm kind of leaning on Nathan, but I don't know. He doesn't have a ferro rod, and it's going to get hard as time goes on, so I don't know.
It doesn't look like you're too big of a fan about a female winning.
No, I would love to see it, but
Okay, out of all the females then.
Nikki, Michelle, or Wyona, I'm not sure. I like them all, honestly. They're all doing good things. Look at her roll it right. That's all we have. That's all we have. The episode's over.
Yeah, can't wait till next week.
By the way, sorry guys, we forgot to tell you that there would be spoilers.
Oops, well.
So I hope you guys got some good information out of this video. Please leave your comments down below. Let us know, who do you think's gonna win? Who do you think? I mean, let us know.
Yeah.
And until next time, thank you again for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day, and we'll see you next time, next episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye.